Hi, Priyanka. So I'm sorry that you had a hard time reading and listening to the essay correction that you sent to us. So hopefully this will be corrected in this particular video correction. Okay, let's get straight to it. The topic is international marketing. You have to discuss both sides of this issue and give your opinion. So let's see what you did. Advertising and marketing has been ever evolving with globalization. All right, well, let's take a look at this. First of all, advertising and marketing are two things, so you really need the plural here. So it should be advertising and marketing have been ever evolving with globalization, whereby offerings of multinationals are being extended across countries, regions, languages, and cultures. Okay, the words you use are all really nice. However, I wouldn't say that this is the most natural way of expressing these ideas. Sometimes when students are preparing for IELTS, they feel this kind of pressure to really use as many synonyms and as many advanced vocabulary words as they can, but this isn't always effective. Sometimes simpler is better. So, like this, for example, the multinationals is what I'm referring to here. This is probably the most problematic word in this sentence. So you could have just said international companies and it would have been fine. So let's try it like that. Advertising and marketing have been ever evolving with globalization, whereby offerings of international companies are being extended across countries, regions, languages, and cultures. Sounds much better. While some opine that this evolution is a requirement and also the most inexpensive way of knowledge sharing among origins. Again, not the best way to say this. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to rephrase this, spreading ideas and so forth. It's just not a successful way of paraphrasing. Okay? Let's see. So, is also the most inexpensive way to share knowledge among communities, or the most expensive way to share knowledge among people of different origins. That would have worked. Okay? Careful with this now. When you say few without the A, it's as if you're saying almost none. A few means several, a positive amount, but few means a negative amount, almost none. So be sure what you're trying to say here, because it almost sounds like you're saying almost nobody. Okay? So while some opine, etc., etc., I would have said here others argue that the trend penetrates into the customs and social beliefs of the people. This essay will examine both views, but personally, I strongly advocate the surge of universal publicity, breaking barriers and promoting consumerism. Okay, that's fine. On the one hand, it can be undoubtedly reasoned out that new ideas entering into a foreign language, new ideas, careful here, look, new ideas bring, okay? So new ideas entering into a foreign land bring about a positive development in terms of learning different languages and gaining alternate perspectives. To take the fastest growing entertainment sector as an example, Netflix, which is currently the most popular media service provider worldwide, was introduced in the Indian market a couple of years back and has now piqued the viewership of Hollywood and other international movies remarkably. Watching a Korean movie is now a common weekend hobby, sitting on the couch in the luxury of our home for many, as the language is no longer a barrier. The increase in releases of TV soaps and series in various other languages has arguably, I don't know what you mean here by unarguably, has arguably fostered a learning culture across nations. Additionally, owing to its reach in every household, a cost-effective environment of literacy has been created. Why? Why? How is literacy developed here? Okay. Because when you're talking about movies, so you need to explain to the reader, because for example, let's imagine that I don't have Netflix. You need to explain to me how something like Netflix is creating literacy. And also, are you really talking about international marketing, or are you talking about globalization? Okay. Let's think about what international marketing means, and if you're not sure, then I recommend that you search it on the internet or, in any sort of resource that you prefer to make sure that you are in fact talking about international marketing and not, say, for example, globalization in general, or I don't know, I think some people might use the word also cultural colonization. I mean, there are a lot of different terms that are thrown around. Make sure that when the task says international marketing, that you are in fact talking about international marketing. Okay. Moving on. However, the is missing here. Introduction of products and services in a few economies has proved. Why is it has? Because this is your lead noun, the introduction. So, has proved to be intruding into their social norms. Who is there? The few economies? Be careful, all right? Make sure that these pronouns refer to what you want them to refer to. This can be explained well with the examples of clothing styles in Western and Middle Eastern, careful with your spelling, cultures. The denim brand Levi's, for instance, had campaigned one of its products, no apostrophe is necessary here, in Abu Dhabi with the slogan "Live Free," in which the woman in the advert who was initially covered in layers had freed herself from them and donned on a pair of jeans and t-shirt. This launch had instantly become a headline in several news channels and became viral over the internet, specifically in Facebook. The nation had raised their grievance and non-acceptance, claiming that the idea has lawfully disregarded their value system. Okay. First of all, the tense here is wrong. Other than that, it's lovely. I mean, the language you use is really, really nice. The grammar, the vocabulary, I have no issues. This tense was wrong because you seem to have gotten kind of mixed up with your tenses a little bit in this paragraph. But on the whole, I like the paragraph, and I like that basically you talked about how it's this international marketing is trying to appeal to a specific market overseas, but doing so unsuccessfully. So it's an appropriate example here. Okay. To conclude, while many may believe that the selling of commodities in certain countries could be risky and might be observed as forcefully introducing a change, according to me, a nation can prosper through an open mind alone that comfortably accepts improved ways of living, which can be brought about through promoting and publicizing modified concepts. Okay. Fine. It's a little wordy it's one sentence. I mean, it's basically a conclusion with one sentence. I don't like according to me. Okay. We use according to when we're going to introduce someone else's point of view, someone else's statement, but not our own. You could say, as far as I'm concerned, or it is my belief. I mean, there are tons of different ways to show that you're going to introduce your opinion. According to is probably not the best one. Okay. Let me just read it again one last time. Okay, so essentially, I think that what you have said is that you advocate international marketing, yet you said it in introduction. If that's the case, then the order of your paragraphs, Priyanka, is wrong. You always put this side that you support last. You put it at the bottom towards your conclusion. So you have to reverse these two paragraphs in order to appropriately structure your essay. And this, of course, would affect your coherence and cohesion score. There are a lot of nice elements here, but I would like to see more of your writing. I hope that I can in the future before you take your IELTS. I think that we can definitely help you improve and kind of iron out any of these little difficulties that you may have. So that brings us to the end of this correction. I look forward to seeing more of your essays. I hope we can work together, take a look at which of the options available with us suit you best. Okay, and again, I want to wish you lots and lots of luck with your IELTS.